Released in 1994 with a massive budget of around $100 million, True Lies became one of the biggest action films of its time. Directed by legendary filmmaker James Cameron and starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Tom Arnold, the movie combines explosive action, comedy, and suspense into one unforgettable adventure. If you enjoy movie explanations and reviews, don't forget to follow the channel, leave a like, and share your thoughts in the comments, because there are many more amazing films waiting to be explored. The story begins during a glamorous evening in Switzerland, where wealthy guests gather inside a luxurious mansion. Everything appears calm and elegant, but among the crowd is a man who seems to be just another respected visitor. That man is Harry Tasker, who looks sophisticated and confident while secretly carrying out an important mission. Unknown to everyone around him, Harry is not an ordinary businessman. He is actually a highly trained secret agent working for a top government organization. While the guests continue dancing and enjoying themselves, Harry quietly watches his targets and prepares for the dangerous operation ahead. Inside the mansion, Harry notices several suspicious individuals involved in illegal activities. He carefully observes their movements and waits for the perfect opportunity to obtain important information. Despite the serious mission, Harry manages to maintain his charming personality and calm attitude. Soon he comes across a beautiful woman named Juno Skinner, who appears to have connections with dangerous people. Harry decides to approach her carefully because she may lead him to something much bigger than expected. Their conversation is friendly on the surface, but Harry is secretly gathering intelligence while pretending to be interested in her. Not far away, another man named Aziz is also attending the event. Unlike Harry, Aziz is nervous and inexperienced. His mistakes quickly attract unwanted attention. Before long, armed guards become suspicious, forcing Harry to take immediate action. What follows is an intense sequence where Harry uses his incredible skills to escape danger. He moves through the mansion with speed and precision, avoiding enemies while protecting the sensitive information he has collected. His experience allows him to stay one step ahead of everyone else. Outside the building, the situation becomes even more dangerous. Harry escapes onto snowy mountains, where an exciting chase begins. The enemies pursue him without mercy, hoping to eliminate him before he can complete his mission. Harry steals skis and races downhill at breathtaking speed, while bullets fly around him. Despite the chaos, he remains focused and determined. The thrilling pursuit demonstrates why he is considered one of the best agents in the organization. Eventually, Harry reaches a safe location and successfully escapes with the information he needs. His mission has been accomplished, and once again he has prevented dangerous secrets from falling into the wrong hands. However, while Harry is celebrated as a hero in his professional life, his personal life is very different. Returning home to the United States, he immediately transforms into a completely different person. Instead of an international spy, he becomes a quiet husband and father living a seemingly ordinary existence. At home, Harry's wife Helen spends her days working hard and taking care of their teenage daughter Dana. Helen believes that her husband works as a computer salesman and often travels because of business responsibilities. She has absolutely no idea that Harry regularly risks his life fighting criminals and terrorists around the world. Over the years, Harry has kept this enormous secret hidden from his family because he believes it is necessary for their safety. Yet, the constant lies have slowly created emotional distance between him and the people he loves most. Helen feels that her marriage has become boring and predictable. She sees Harry as a decent man, but she also believes that excitement has disappeared from their relationship. Harry, meanwhile, struggles to balance his dangerous profession with family responsibilities. Whenever he tries to spend time with his wife and daughter, unexpected missions often interrupt him. This leaves Helen feeling lonely and disappointed, although she never complains openly. Deep inside, she wishes life could become exciting again. Their daughter Dana is also beginning to grow more independent. Like many teenagers, she sometimes argues with her parents and dislikes following rules. Harry loves his daughter deeply, but because of his busy double life, he often misses important moments with her. Although he wants to be a better father, he constantly finds himself caught between family duties and national security responsibilities. This hidden pressure weighs heavily on him, even if he rarely shows it. One morning, Harry attends an important meeting with his team. Their intelligence reports reveal the existence of a dangerous terrorist group known as Crimson Jihad. Led by a ruthless man named Salim Abu Aziz, the organization has terrifying plans that could threaten countless innocent lives. Harry realizes that his previous mission may have uncovered only a small part of a much larger conspiracy. The information collected in Switzerland suggests that powerful people are secretly helping the terrorists acquire devastating weapons. As Harry and his colleagues discuss their next steps, they understand that time is running out. The enemy is becoming stronger, and one mistake could lead to disaster. Harry knows that another dangerous mission lies ahead, but he has no idea that the biggest challenge waiting for him will not only involve terrorists. Problems inside his own family are about to become just as complicated and unpredictable. Soon his worlds of espionage and domestic life will collide in ways he never imagined, setting the stage for an unforgettable chain of events that will change everything forever. After learning more about the dangerous activities of the Crimson Jihad organization, Harry Tasker throws himself back into his secret work. While intelligence officers continue gathering information, Harry tries to maintain the image of an ordinary computer salesman at home. Unfortunately, keeping two completely different lives separate is becoming harder every day. His constant absences and mysterious behavior are slowly creating frustration inside his family, especially for his wife Helen, who feels that something important is missing from their marriage. Helen spends most of her time working as a secretary and managing household responsibilities. Although she loves Harry, she often feels invisible. Their relationship has become routine, and she misses the excitement and romance that once existed between them. Harry cares deeply about his wife, but years of secrecy have prevented him from expressing himself honestly. Whenever Helen tries to discuss their marriage, Harry usually becomes distracted by work or leaves suddenly because of another mission. Without realizing it, he is pushing her further away. One day, Helen unexpectedly meets a man named Simon. Unlike Harry, Simon appears adventurous, competent, and full of exciting stories. He claims to be an international spy who travels around the world performing dangerous missions. In reality, however, Simon is nothing more than a dishonest salesman who pretends to be a secret agent to impress women. His expensive clothes, charming personality, and exaggerated tales quickly catch Helen's attention. For someone who has spent years trapped in an ordinary routine, Simon represents the excitement she has been missing. Although Helen remains loyal to her husband, she enjoys listening to Simon's stories. For the first time in many years, she feels noticed and appreciated. Simon begins inviting her to lunch and starts flirting openly. Helen is both nervous and curious. She knows she should avoid him, but part of her enjoys the attention. Meanwhile, Simon believes that Helen is lonely and vulnerable, making her an easy target for his tricks. Ironically, Harry's secret organization accidentally discovers Simon while conducting surveillance on unrelated suspects. When Harry receives photographs showing his wife spending time with another man, he is shocked and furious. Unable to believe what he is seeing, he immediately orders a complete investigation into Simon's background. Harry expects to uncover some dangerous criminal, but instead his team discovers something almost ridiculous. Simon is a fraud who invents stories about being a spy simply to seduce women. Despite learning the truth, Harry's anger does not disappear. Instead of confronting Helen honestly, he becomes jealous and emotionally hurt. For years he has risked his life protecting his family, yet now he fears losing his wife to an ordinary con artist. His partner Albert Gibson notices Harry's emotional state and tries to calm him down. Albert reminds Harry that the situation is partly his own fault, because Helen has spent years living with lies and loneliness. Nevertheless, Harry struggles to accept that reality. Determined to expose Simon, Harry uses the enormous resources of his agency for personal reasons. His team secretly follows Simon everywhere, recording conversations and gathering embarrassing details. Soon, they discover that Simon repeats the same fake stories to several women. He owns no weapons, works no secret missions, and possesses none of the skills he constantly boasts about. Everything about him is based on lies and manipulation. Harry finally decides to teach Simon a lesson. Using his authority, he arranges for Simon to be kidnapped by agents disguised as government officers. Terrified, Simon believes he has been captured by dangerous spies. During the interrogation, Harry remains hidden, while Simon quickly reveals his cowardly nature. The man who claimed to be fearless immediately starts begging for mercy and admits that all his stories are fake. He even offers to help the kidnappers by providing information about the woman he has deceived. Watching this humiliating confession, Harry realizes how pathetic Simon truly is. Although Simon has been exposed, Harry still feels troubled about Helen. Instead of discussing their marriage honestly, he makes another questionable decision. Believing that Helen secretly desires adventure, he creates a fake mission and tricks her into participating. Agency officers approach Helen and pretend that they are recruiting her for a dangerous assignment. Confused and frightened, Helen has no idea that her own husband is secretly controlling everything behind the scenes. Helen is instructed to meet mysterious people and follow strange orders. At first, she believes she may be involved in something illegal, but curiosity and excitement encourage her to continue. Deep inside, she feels alive again. After years of boredom, this unexpected adventure gives her a sense of confidence she has almost forgotten. Harry watches everything from a distance, hoping to understand his wife's true feelings. However, he never expects the situation to spiral far beyond his control. As part of the fake mission, Helen is sent to a luxurious hotel where she receives instructions to entertain an unknown contact. Nervous and embarrassed, she enters the room without realizing that the mysterious man waiting for her is actually Harry himself. Disguised and hidden in shadows, he watches as Helen struggles with fear and uncertainty. Despite her nervousness, she tries her best to complete the assignment because she believes she is helping her country. But before Harry can reveal the truth and repair their relationship, fate takes an unexpected turn. Unknown to both of them, real enemies are already watching. The terrorists, led by Salim Abu Aziz, are moving closer to their plans, and soon Harry and Helen will find themselves caught in genuine danger. What started as a jealous husband's foolish game is about to transform into a deadly nightmare, where survival itself will become the greatest challenge of all. As the strange operation arranged by Harry continues, Helen arrives at the luxurious hotel, believing she is participating in a secret mission for the government. Although she is nervous, she also feels something she has not experienced in years: excitement. Following the instructions she received, she enters a dark room where a mysterious man sits in the shadows. Without realizing it, that man is actually her own husband, Harry Tasker, who is secretly watching her. Harry had created the entire situation, hoping to understand what Helen truly wanted from life and from their marriage. Feeling awkward and embarrassed, Helen begins carrying out the instructions she has been given. Harry watches silently, expecting her to reveal some hidden desire for adventure. But instead of finding betrayal, he sees something entirely different. He sees a woman who has spent years sacrificing her dreams and supporting her family while quietly enduring loneliness. For the first time in a long while, Harry realizes how unfairly he has treated her. Helen never wanted another man. She simply wanted to feel important and appreciated again. Just as Harry prepares to reveal himself and end the deception, everything suddenly goes wrong. Armed men burst into the hotel and surround the room. These are not government agents or actors hired by Harry. They are members of the Crimson Jihad terrorist organization led by Salim Abu Aziz. The terrorists have been tracking Harry for some time and have finally discovered his location. Before Harry can react, both he and Helen are captured. Helen is completely terrified. She cannot understand what is happening or why dangerous men are kidnapping them. Even worse, she still does not know that her husband is a secret agent. Meanwhile, Harry realizes that his personal mistakes have placed his wife in terrible danger. For the first time in his career, the two worlds he has spent years keeping separate have violently collided. The terrorists transport them to an isolated location. There, Salim Abu Aziz finally reveals himself. He is a ruthless extremist who dreams of attacking the United States with stolen nuclear weapons. Unlike many criminals Harry has faced before, Aziz is intelligent, determined, and completely without mercy. He believes fear is the most powerful weapon and wants the entire world to witness his strength. While being held prisoner, Harry finally tells Helen the truth. He reveals that he is not a computer salesman, but a highly trained intelligence agent working for the government. At first, Helen cannot believe what she is hearing. The man she has lived with for years has been hiding an unbelievable secret. Her confusion quickly turns into anger as she realizes that almost everything she believed about his career was a lie. Yet before she can process these emotions, the terrorists begin interrogating them. Aziz forces Harry and Helen to sit in front of a camera while he records a message. During the recording, he announces that his organization possesses nuclear warheads and plans to strike American cities unless their demands are met. Harry remains calm despite the terrifying situation. He understands that panic will only help the terrorists. Secretly, he begins looking for opportunities to escape. Eventually, Harry manages to free himself and attack several guards. Using his incredible combat skills, he fights his way through the compound while chaos erupts around him. Helen watches in complete amazement. The quiet husband she thought she knew suddenly transforms into a fearless warrior, capable of defeating multiple enemies. Everything Simon had pretended to be, Harry actually is. During the confusion, Harry and Helen become separated. Harry escapes, but Helen is taken away by the terrorists. Even worse, their daughter Dana accidentally becomes involved in the crisis. Dana has been going through her own rebellious phase and has recently started sneaking around without her parents' knowledge. Unfortunately, her actions place her directly in the path of the terrorists, turning an already dangerous situation into a nightmare. Meanwhile, Harry reunites with his trusted partner, Albert Gibson, and the rest of the Omega Sector team. Using advanced technology and intelligence resources, they begin tracking Aziz and his followers. The information they uncover is horrifying. The terrorists have successfully acquired several nuclear weapons and intend to carry out attacks that could kill thousands of innocent people. Harry is overwhelmed with guilt. His jealousy and foolish decisions allowed his family to become vulnerable. Now his wife and daughter are in the hands of ruthless extremists, and the fate of countless lives depends on his ability to stop them. Determined to correct his mistakes, he throws himself completely into the mission. This is no longer just another assignment. It has become deeply personal. As the hours pass, Aziz prepares for the next stage of his plan. One nuclear device is transported to a remote island where it will serve as a demonstration of the terrorists' power. Another weapon remains hidden, waiting to be used against a major American city. Through televised broadcasts, Aziz hopes to spread fear across the nation and force governments to submit to his demands. Harry knows time is running out. Every second brings the world closer to disaster. With his family still trapped and nuclear weapons threatening millions of lives, he prepares for the most dangerous mission of his entire career. Soon an all-out battle will begin, involving helicopters, fighter jets, and one of the most unforgettable action sequences ever seen in cinema. With the terrifying truth finally revealed, Harry Tasker finds himself facing the greatest challenge of his life. His wife Helen has learned that her husband is not a simple computer salesman but an elite secret agent, and before either of them has time to deal with the emotional shock, they are caught in the middle of a deadly terrorist crisis, Even worse, their daughter Dana has unknowingly become involved, and the entire country is now under threat from nuclear weapons controlled by Salim Abu Aziz and his followers. After escaping from the terrorists, Harry quickly reconnects with Albert Gibson and the Omega Sector team. Their headquarters immediately becomes a center of intense activity. Computer experts, intelligence officers, and military officials work together around the clock to locate Aziz and prevent a catastrophe. The information they gather paints a frightening picture. Aziz has already smuggled nuclear warheads into the United States, and one of them is scheduled to be detonated as a warning to the government. Harry understands that millions of lives could be affected if they fail. Meanwhile, Helen remains trapped with the terrorists. Although she is frightened, something inside her has changed. Witnessing Harry's incredible abilities has awakened a new level of courage within her. She no longer sees herself as the helpless woman she once believed she was. Despite being surrounded by dangerous men, she refuses to surrender completely to fear. Her determination surprises even herself. Salim Abu Aziz decides to send a message to the world. He transports one of the nuclear warheads to a remote island and arranges for television cameras to broadcast the event. Standing proudly before the cameras, Aziz announces that his organization possesses multiple nuclear weapons and that this explosion is only the beginning. Governments and civilians everywhere watch in horror as the countdown begins. Moments later, a massive nuclear explosion shakes the island, producing a gigantic cloud visible from miles away. The demonstration proves that Aziz is not bluffing. Across the country, panic begins spreading rapidly. News channels interrupt regular programming, military forces are placed on high alert, and authorities desperately search for the remaining warheads. Inside Omega Sector headquarters, the pressure becomes unbearable. Harry knows that while everyone is focused on the nuclear threat, his own family remains in terrible danger. However, he refuses to let emotions interfere with the mission. Saving his wife and daughter and stopping the terrorists have become one and the same objective. As investigators continue examining intelligence reports, they discover something alarming. Aziz and his men have moved to a skyscraper under construction in Florida. The building provides an ideal location for hiding their operations and defending themselves against attack. More importantly, Dana has been taken there as a hostage. Harry is horrified when he learns that his daughter is now directly in the hands of the terrorists. Guilt overwhelms him, but there is no time for regret. Action is the only option. Dana, meanwhile, is terrified. Throughout her teenage years, she often argued with her parents and ignored their warnings. Now, trapped among armed extremists, she realizes how much her family means to her. Despite her fear, she tries to remain brave. She remembers her father's strength and hopes desperately that he will somehow find her. Although she does not fully understand his secret life, she now knows that her father is capable of extraordinary things. With time running out, Harry joins a large-scale military operation. Helicopters, armed vehicles, and elite agents prepare for a dangerous assault against the terrorists. Yet Harry knows that conventional methods may not be enough. Aziz is unpredictable, and one wrong move could cost the lives of innocent people, including Dana. Determined to save his daughter personally, Harry begins searching for another way to reach the building. At the same time, Helen manages to display remarkable courage. No longer content with being a passive victim, she seizes opportunities to resist her captors whenever possible. Although she lacks Harry's training, she possesses intelligence and determination. The experiences of the past few days have transformed her into a stronger person. In many ways, the woman who once dreamed of excitement has now found herself living through the greatest adventure imaginable. As the final confrontation approaches, Harry receives an unexpected opportunity. A military aircraft becomes available, and he decides to use it in a daring attempt to rescue Dana. His fellow agents can hardly believe the risk he is willing to take, but Harry knows he has no choice. His daughter is trapped hundreds of feet above the ground, and every second increases the danger. Inside the unfinished skyscraper, Salim Abu Aziz prepares to escape. Confident that he has already humiliated the United States and demonstrated his power, he believes victory is within reach. But he underestimates one thing: the determination of a father fighting for his family. Harry Tasker is no longer acting only as a government agent. He is acting as a husband and a father, and nothing in the world is more dangerous than a man with everything to lose. Far above the city skyline, helicopters circle, agents prepare for battle, and Dana struggles to survive. The stage is set for an explosive finale that will test Harry's courage, skill, and love for his family. Soon one of the most spectacular action sequences in movie history will begin, bringing Harry face to face with Salim Abu Aziz in a battle where the fate of his daughter and countless innocent lives hangs in the balance. After escaping from the terrorist compound and reuniting with the Omega Sector team, Harry Tasker finds himself under enormous pressure. The entire country is now facing an unprecedented crisis. Salim Abu Aziz has successfully stolen nuclear warheads, and intelligence reports suggest that the terrorists are preparing something far more devastating than anyone had imagined. Although Harry has survived countless dangerous missions, this time everything feels different. His wife Helen has become involved, his family is falling apart emotionally, and millions of innocent lives may soon be at risk. Back at Omega Sector headquarters, agents work non-stop to gather information about Aziz and his followers. Satellite images, intercepted communications, and surveillance footage are analyzed around the clock. Military officials and intelligence officers understand that they are dealing with a ruthless enemy who is determined to make history through fear and destruction. The pressure inside the command center is intense because nobody knows exactly where the remaining nuclear weapons are hidden. Meanwhile, Harry finally has a chance to speak honestly with Helen. For years he had hidden behind lies, pretending to be an ordinary computer salesman while secretly fighting criminals around the world. Now, with the truth exposed, there is no place left for deception. Helen struggles to process everything she has learned. The man she married has been living an entirely different life. Although she is angry and confused, she also realizes that Harry's dangerous work was never about selfishness. He was trying to protect his country and keep his family safe. Despite her shock, Helen begins to see another side of Harry. Throughout their marriage, she had believed that excitement and adventure were missing from her life. But after witnessing real danger, kidnappings, and terrorist attacks, she understands that the glamorous world she once imagined is far more terrifying than she expected. Yet surprisingly, instead of breaking down completely, Helen discovers an inner strength she never knew she possessed. Harry also begins seeing his wife differently. For years he underestimated Helen and treated her like someone who needed to be protected from the truth. But during their captivity, he witnessed her bravery and determination. She had remained calm under terrifying circumstances and refused to surrender to fear. Harry realizes that perhaps he had been wrong all along. Maybe Helen was capable of much more than he had ever imagined. While Harry and Helen struggle with their emotions, Salim Abu Aziz continues moving forward with his plans. Hidden away with his loyal followers, the terrorist leader prepares a shocking message for the world. He believes that fear is more powerful than armies and that one dramatic act will force governments to obey his demands. Confident in his mission, Aziz sees himself not as a criminal but as a revolutionary willing to sacrifice anything for his cause. At the same time, Harry's trusted partner Albert Gibson remains by his side. Throughout the crisis, Albert has provided not only professional support but also emotional encouragement. Unlike Harry, Albert understands the importance of balancing work and family. He reminds his friend that once the mission is over, repairing his relationship with Helen and Dana will become just as important as defeating the terrorists. Harry listens carefully because he knows Albert is right. Saving the world means little if he loses the people he loves. Elsewhere, Donna continues living her normal teenage life without fully understanding the danger surrounding her family. Like many teenagers, she spends more time focusing on friends and personal freedom than on her parents' concerns. Harry worries about her constantly, but years of secrecy have created distance between father and daughter. Although he deeply loves Dana, he has often been absent during important moments in her life. Now, as danger grows closer, Harry silently promises himself that things will be different if they survive this crisis. Suddenly, alarming news reaches Omega Sector. Intelligence experts discover that one of the stolen nuclear weapons has already been transported to a remote island. Even worse, Aziz intends to publicly demonstrate its power to prove that his threats are real. The announcement shocks everyone inside the command center. Until now, many officials had hoped the terrorists were bluffing. But if Aziz truly possesses functioning nuclear devices, the consequences could be catastrophic. Military leaders immediately begin discussing possible responses. Some argue for direct attacks, while others fear that aggressive action could provoke even greater destruction. Amid the chaos, Harry remains focused. He knows that Aziz enjoys creating fear and confusion. Every minute wasted in debate gives the terrorists more time to strengthen their position. As preparations continue, Harry looks at Helen and realizes how much their lives have changed in such a short time. The lies that once separated them have been exposed, and although the future remains uncertain, one thing is clear. They are facing this nightmare together. For the first time in many years, Harry and Helen truly understand each other. But their emotional reunion is interrupted by horrifying news. Television broadcasts suddenly show Salim Abu Aziz appearing before cameras with a terrifying announcement. Standing proudly beside a nuclear warhead, the terrorist leader declares that the world is about to witness the beginning of a new era of fear. And as millions of people watch in shock, the countdown toward disaster begins. After the horrifying broadcast by Salim Abu Aziz, fear begins spreading throughout the country. News channels interrupt regular programs to report the shocking developments, while military commanders and government officials rush to emergency meetings. For the first time, everyone realizes that the threat posed by Crimson Jihad is very real. Aziz is no longer hiding in the shadows. He wants the entire world to witness his power, and his latest message proves that he is willing to go to any extreme to achieve his goals. Inside Omega Sector headquarters, the atmosphere becomes tense. Agents, analysts, and military officers work around the clock trying to locate the remaining nuclear warheads. Harry Tasker and Albert Gibson understand that they are running out of time. Every passing hour increases the risk of a disaster that could kill thousands of innocent people. Despite the enormous pressure, Harry remains determined. He knows that allowing fear to control his decisions would only help the terrorists. Meanwhile, Helen is still trying to come to terms with everything she has learned. In only a few days, her ordinary life has completely changed. She has discovered that her husband is a secret agent, survived a kidnapping, and found herself caught in a conflict involving nuclear weapons. The emotional shock is overwhelming, yet something inside her has changed. Instead of feeling helpless, Helen begins to realize how strong she truly is. She no longer sees herself as the lonely woman trapped in a boring marriage. The terrifying experiences have awakened a confidence she never knew she possessed. Harry notices this transformation as well. For years he believed that protecting Helen meant hiding the truth from her, but now he sees that she is much stronger than he had imagined. Her courage during captivity and her ability to remain calm under pressure earn his admiration. Slowly, the walls that secrecy had built between them begin to disappear. Although they still have many issues to resolve, they are finally facing reality together. Far away, Salim Abu Aziz prepares for the next phase of his plan. Surrounded by loyal followers, he records another message. This time he intends to prove that his threats are not empty words. Standing beside one of the stolen nuclear warheads, he proudly announces that the world will soon witness a demonstration of his power. Governments and civilians everywhere watch in horror as he speaks. His confidence is chilling and his hatred appears limitless. Soon afterward, military satellites detect unusual activity near a remote island. Intelligence experts quickly confirm everyone's worst fears. Aziz intends to detonate one of the nuclear devices as a warning. Government officials desperately debate possible responses, but there is little time. The weapon is already armed, and attacking the terrorists could trigger the explosion prematurely. With no immediate options available, authorities can only watch helplessly. Then the unimaginable happens. A blinding flash lights up the horizon, followed by an enormous mushroom cloud rising into the sky. The nuclear explosion shakes the area and sends shock waves across the ocean. Although the detonation occurs far from populated cities, the message is clear. Salim Abu Aziz possesses real nuclear weapons and he is willing to use them. Around the world, fear spreads rapidly. News anchors struggle to describe what people are witnessing, and millions watch in stunned silence. At Omega Sector headquarters, the mood becomes even more serious. Nobody can deny the danger any longer. Harry watches the horrifying footage with anger burning inside him. He has faced many enemies during his career, but never one capable of causing destruction on such a scale. The situation has become a race against time. Somewhere out there additional nuclear warheads remain hidden, and Aziz's followers are preparing for the next stage of their plan. Meanwhile, Diana continues living her normal teenage life, unaware of how close the danger is coming. Like many teenagers, she is more concerned with independence and spending time with friends than with listening to her parents. Harry worries constantly about her safety, but years of emotional distance have made communication difficult. He regrets the many moments he missed because of his secret life. Deep down, he hopes that once this nightmare is over, he will finally become the father Donna deserves. Albert Gibson notices Harry's growing guilt and reminds him that regrets can wait until after the mission. Right now, stopping the terrorists must remain the priority. Harry agrees, but thoughts of his family continue to haunt him. He knows that if Aziz discovers their identities, Helen and Dana could become targets once again. The possibility terrifies him more than any enemy ever has. Then a breakthrough finally arrives. Intelligence analysts intercept new communications and uncover critical information about Aziz's next move. The terrorists are relocating to Florida, where they plan to continue their operations from a massive skyscraper that is still under construction. The unfinished structure offers numerous hiding places and provides an ideal defensive position against any attack. As agents prepare for a new mission, Harry feels a sense of urgency unlike anything he has experienced before. He knows that the final confrontation is approaching, but before he can make his move, shocking news reaches Omega Sector. Dana has unknowingly crossed paths with the terrorists, and suddenly Harry's worst nightmare becomes reality. After the terrifying nuclear demonstration carried out by Salim Abu Aziz, the entire country is thrown into a state of panic. Government agencies are working tirelessly to prevent another attack, while Harry Tasker and the Omega Sector team race against time to stop the terrorists before they can strike again. But just when Harry believes the situation cannot become any worse, devastating news reaches headquarters. His daughter Dana has unknowingly become involved with the terrorists. At first, Harry refuses to believe the reports. Dana had no knowledge of his secret life, and he always tried to keep his family far away from the dangers of his profession. Yet intelligence confirms the horrifying truth. Through a series of unfortunate events, Dana has ended up in the wrong place at the wrong time, and Aziz's men have taken her hostage. For Harry, this is the nightmare he has feared throughout his entire career. All the sacrifices and lies he told himself were meant to protect his family, and now the people he loves most are directly in the hands of ruthless extremists. Helen is equally devastated when she learns that Dana is in danger. Despite all the tension and confusion between them, the crisis has brought Harry and Helen closer together. The arguments and disappointments of the past suddenly seem insignificant compared to the possibility of losing their daughter. Helen sees the pain in Harry's eyes and understands that beneath his strength and professionalism, he is a terrified father desperately trying to save his child. Meanwhile, Dana herself is overwhelmed with fear. Throughout her teenage years, she often complained about her parents and ignored their warnings. Like many young people, she believed that independence meant doing whatever she wanted. But now, surrounded by armed criminals and trapped in a terrifying situation, she begins to realize how much her family means to her. For the first time, she understands that her father's strictness and concern came from love, not control. Salim Abu Aziz, on the other hand, sees Dana as nothing more than leverage. The terrorist leader knows that Harry Tasker is one of the greatest threats to his organization. By using Dana as a hostage, Aziz hopes to keep Harry distracted while his remaining plans move forward. Confident after the success of the nuclear demonstration, Aziz believes that victory is finally within reach. His arrogance grows stronger with each passing hour, and he underestimates the determination of a father fighting for his child. Inside Omega Sector headquarters, tension reaches its highest level. Military commanders discuss various options, but every plan carries enormous risks. An attack could provoke the terrorists into killing the hostages, while waiting too long might allow Aziz to escape. Harry listens carefully to the discussions. But deep down, he knows that no ordinary operation will be enough. He understands his enemy better than anyone else. To rescue Dana, he will have to take extraordinary risks. Albert Gibson stays by Harry's side throughout the crisis. Although Albert often uses humor to relieve stress, he fully understands the seriousness of the situation. He reminds Harry that panic will only help the terrorists. Years of friendship and countless dangerous missions have created an unbreakable bond between the two men. Albert trusts Harry completely and promises that they will bring Dana home safely. As preparations continue, intelligence analysts uncover more information about Aziz's location. The terrorists have established their base inside a massive skyscraper still under construction in Florida. The building's unfinished structure provides numerous escape routes and makes a direct assault extremely dangerous. Even worse, Dana is being held hundreds of feet above the ground, making any rescue attempt incredibly difficult. Harry studies every detail of the building. Maps, photographs, and surveillance footage cover the walls of the command center. He knows that one mistake could cost Dana her life. Despite the overwhelming pressure, he remains focused. His years as a secret agent have taught him that fear must never control his actions. Yet this mission feels different from any he has faced before. For the first time, the person he is trying to save is not a stranger or a fellow agent. It is his own daughter. At the same time, Helen demonstrates remarkable courage. Although she is frightened, she refuses to break down. The woman who once considered herself trapped in a boring life has changed dramatically. Recent events have revealed a strength she never knew she possessed. Instead of giving in to despair, she supports Harry and encourages him to keep fighting. Their marriage, once damaged by secrets and misunderstandings, is slowly being rebuilt through trust and shared adversity. Hours later, another shocking development changes everything. Military officials inform Harry that a Marine Corps Harrier jump jet is available for emergency operations. The aircraft's unique ability to hover and maneuver in confined spaces offers possibilities that ordinary helicopters cannot provide. An incredibly dangerous plan begins forming in Harry's mind. It sounds almost impossible, and many officers believe the risks are too great. But Harry knows that impossible missions are sometimes the only option. As the sun begins to set over Florida, helicopters fill the skies, soldiers prepare for battle, and Salim Abu Aziz believes he is only moments away from complete victory. Unaware of what is coming, the terrorist leader makes the mistake of underestimating one thing: a father who has nothing left to lose. As the sun begins setting over Florida, the situation reaches a critical stage. Salim Abu Aziz and his remaining followers are hiding inside the massive unfinished skyscraper, believing they are only moments away from escaping. Dana remains trapped high above the ground, surrounded by armed terrorists, while military forces prepare for a dangerous operation. With every passing minute, the possibility of disaster grows greater. For Harry Tasker, however, there is only one thing that matters: bringing his daughter home alive. Inside Omega Sector headquarters, military commanders continue debating their options. A direct assault on the building could endanger the hostages, while waiting too long would allow Aziz to escape. Harry studies the situation carefully and realizes that ordinary tactics will not work. The skyscraper's unfinished structure makes it difficult for helicopters to approach safely, and the terrorists have positioned themselves to defend against conventional attacks. Then an unusual opportunity presents itself. A United States Marine Corps Harrier jump jet is available nearby. Unlike ordinary aircraft, the Harrier possesses the remarkable ability to hover and maneuver in ways that few other planes can. Although the idea sounds almost impossible, Harry believes the aircraft may provide the only chance to reach Dana before it is too late. Many officers are shocked by the proposal. Flying such a machine near a skyscraper would be extremely dangerous, even for experienced military pilots. But Harry is determined. He refuses to let fear stop him. Albert Gibson understands exactly what his friend is thinking. Despite recognizing the enormous risks involved, Albert supports Harry's decision. Years of friendship have taught him one thing: when Harry Tasker makes up his mind, nothing can stand in his way. Together with the Omega Sector team, Albert helps coordinate the mission while military forces prepare to surround the area. Meanwhile, inside the skyscraper, Dana struggles to remain calm. Suspended hundreds of feet above the ground and surrounded by criminals, she feels more frightened than ever before. Throughout her life, she often saw her father as distant and overly protective. But after everything that has happened, she now understands how deeply he loves her. Despite her fear, she clings to the hope that Harry will somehow come for her. Salim Abu Aziz, meanwhile, grows increasingly confident. After successfully detonating one nuclear device and humiliating government authorities, he believes victory is close. His arrogance blinds him to the danger approaching. He assumes Harry has already been defeated emotionally and that no one will be able to stop his escape. Yet Aziz has made one fatal mistake. He has underestimated the determination of a father fighting for his child. As darkness begins to fall, Harry climbs into the cockpit of the Harrier jet. The powerful aircraft roars to life, attracting the attention of soldiers and agents below. Even experienced military personnel watch with amazement. The plan appears reckless, but Harry has no intention of turning back. He knows that every second counts. Soon the jet rises into the sky and speeds toward the skyscraper. News helicopters and police officers witness the incredible sight as the aircraft approaches the building. Inside, the terrorists suddenly realize that something unusual is happening. Confusion spreads among Aziz's men as explosions and gunfire erupt around them. Military forces launch their assault, creating chaos throughout the structure. Dana hears the noise and realizes that help has arrived. Hope begins replacing despair. At the same time, Salim Abu Aziz rushes to organize his followers and prepare for escape. Furious and desperate, he refuses to accept defeat. He orders his men to delay the attackers while he makes his way toward a waiting helicopter positioned near the top of the building. High above the city, Harry maneuvers the Harrier with incredible precision. Hovering between skyscrapers, he searches desperately for his daughter. The operation is unlike anything he has ever attempted. One mistake could destroy the aircraft and kill everyone involved. Yet, despite the danger, Harry remains calm. Years of training and experience guide his actions, but more than anything, his love for Dana gives him strength. As he finally spots his daughter trapped high above the ground, relief floods through him. But the battle is far from over. Terrorists continue firing, and Salim Abu Aziz is already moving toward his helicopter. Harry realizes that he must accomplish two impossible tasks at the same time: rescue Dana and stop the terrorist leader from escaping. The fate of his family and countless innocent people now depends on a few crucial moments, and the most explosive confrontation of Harry Tusker's life is about to begin. With the skies above Florida filled with helicopters and military aircraft, the final battle enters its most dangerous phase. Harry Tusker pilots the Harrier jump jet with incredible precision, while chaos erupts inside the unfinished skyscraper. Explosions shake the structure. Soldiers engage the remaining terrorists, and innocent lives hang in the balance. Yet, amid all the destruction, Harry has only one goal in mind: saving his daughter Dana before it is too late. High above the ground, Dana desperately clings to part of the unfinished structure. Terrified and exhausted, she watches as debris falls around her. Every second feels like an eternity. Despite the overwhelming fear, she refuses to give up. Deep inside, she believes her father will find a way to rescue her. The rebellious teenager who once argued constantly with her parents has changed dramatically. Facing death has taught her the value of family, and now she understands how much her father truly loves her. Inside the building, the remaining members of Crimson Jihad are thrown into confusion. Military forces are attacking from multiple directions, and Harry's unexpected arrival in the Harrier jet has completely destroyed their plans. Some terrorists attempt to fight, while others panic and search for escape routes. Their organization, which once appeared powerful and unstoppable, is rapidly collapsing under the pressure. Salim Abu Aziz, however, refuses to surrender. Furious and desperate, he fights his way toward the roof, where a helicopter is waiting. Although many of his followers have already been defeated, Aziz remains determined to escape and continue his war elsewhere. His dream of spreading fear across the world has consumed him completely, and even now he believes he can survive. Meanwhile, Harry spots Dana hanging dangerously high above the city. His heart nearly stops as he realizes how close she is to falling. Using all his skill and concentration, he carefully maneuvers the Harrier jet into position. The aircraft hovers with incredible precision, something few pilots would even attempt under normal circumstances. Despite enemy gunfire and the unstable conditions, Harry remains focused. Dana sees her father inside the cockpit and is overwhelmed with emotion. In that moment, she no longer sees him as the boring parent she once complained about. Instead, she sees a man willing to risk everything for his family. Harry encourages her to stay calm and trust him. Though terrified, Dana gathers her courage and prepares to make the most important jump of her life. At the same time, Salim Abu Aziz climbs aboard the waiting helicopter. Believing he has escaped, he orders the pilot to take off immediately. From above, Harry notices the helicopter beginning to rise. He realizes that if Aziz escapes, countless more innocent people may suffer in the future. Saving Dana is his first priority, but allowing the terrorist leader to disappear is not an option either. Using the Harrier jet's weapon system, Harry prepares for the final confrontation. But timing is everything. He cannot fire while Dana remains in danger. With incredible skill, he continues balancing both challenges at once. The pressure is immense, yet Harry refuses to fail. Years of experience have taught him how to remain calm in impossible situations. Below, Helen watches the unfolding events with fear and hope. The woman who once dreamed of excitement has now experienced more danger than she ever imagined. Yet, through all the pain and chaos, she has rediscovered the man she fell in love with. More importantly, Harry and Helen have finally begun rebuilding their relationship on trust instead of lies. Whatever happens next, both of them know that their family has changed forever. As the helicopter carrying Aziz gains altitude, Harry finally reaches the perfect position beneath Dana. He shouts for her to jump. Overcoming her fear, Dana leaps through the air and lands safely on the aircraft. Relief floods through both father and daughter as they embrace. After everything they have endured, they are finally together again.
And Dana struggles to survive. The stage is set for an explosive finale that will test Harry's courage, skill, and love for his family. Soon, one of the most spectacular action sequences in movie history will begin, bringing Harry face to face with Salim Abu Aziz in a battle where the fate of his daughter and countless innocent lives hangs in the balance. After escaping from the terrorist compound and reuniting with the Omega Sector team, Harry Tasker finds himself under enormous pressure. The entire country is now facing an unprecedented crisis. Salim Abu Aziz has successfully stolen nuclear warheads, and intelligence reports suggest that the terrorists are preparing something far more devastating than anyone had imagined. Although Harry has survived countless dangerous missions, this time everything feels different. His wife Helen has become involved, his family is falling apart emotionally, and millions of innocent lives may soon be at risk. Back at Omega Sector headquarters, agents work non-stop to gather information about Aziz and his followers. Satellite images, intercepted communications, and surveillance footage are analyzed around the clock. Military officials and intelligence officers understand that they are dealing with a ruthless enemy who is determined to make history through fear and destruction. The pressure inside the command center is intense because nobody knows exactly where the remaining nuclear weapons are hidden. Meanwhile, Harry finally has a chance to speak honestly with Helen. For years he had hidden behind lies, pretending to be an ordinary computer salesman while secretly fighting criminals around the world. Now, with the truth exposed, there is no place left for deception. Helen struggles to process everything she has learned. The man she married has been living an entirely different life. Although she is angry and confused, she also realizes that Harry's dangerous work was never about selfishness. He was trying to protect his country and keep his family safe. Despite her shock, Helen begins to see another side of Harry. Throughout their marriage she had believed that excitement and adventure were missing from her life, but after witnessing real danger, kidnappings, and terrorist attacks, she understands that the glamorous world she once imagined is far more terrifying than she expected. Yet surprisingly, instead of breaking down completely, Helen discovers an inner strength she never knew she possessed. Harry also begins seeing his wife differently. For years he underestimated Helen and treated her like someone who needed to be protected from the truth, but during their captivity he witnessed her bravery and determination. She had remained calm under terrifying circumstances and refused to surrender to fear. Harry realizes that perhaps he had been wrong all along. Maybe Helen was capable of much more than he had ever imagined. While Harry and Helen struggle with their emotions, Salim Abu Aziz continues moving forward with his plans. Hidden away with his loyal followers, the terrorist leader prepares a shocking message for the world. He believes that fear is more powerful than armies and that one dramatic act will force governments to obey his demands. Confident in his mission, Aziz sees himself not as a criminal but as a revolutionary willing to sacrifice anything for his cause. At the same time, Harry's trusted partner Albert Gibson remains by his side. Throughout the crisis, Albert has provided not only professional support but also emotional encouragement. Unlike Harry, Albert understands the importance of balancing work and
Helen is both nervous and curious. She knows she should avoid him, but part of her enjoys the attention. Meanwhile, Simon believes that Helen is lonely and vulnerable, making her an easy target for his tricks. Ironically, Harry's secret organization accidentally discovers Simon while conducting surveillance on unrelated suspects. When Harry receives photographs showing his wife spending time with another man, he is shocked and furious. Unable to believe what he is seeing, he immediately orders a complete investigation into Simon's background. Harry expects to uncover some dangerous criminal, but instead his team discovers something almost ridiculous. Simon is a fraud who invents stories about being a spy simply to seduce women. Despite learning the truth, Harry's anger does not disappear. Instead of confronting Helen honestly, he becomes jealous and emotionally hurt. For years he has risked his life protecting his family, yet now he fears losing his wife to an ordinary con artist. His partner Albert Gibson notices Harry's emotional state and tries to calm him down. Albert reminds Harry that the situation is partly his own fault, because Helen has spent years living with lies and loneliness. Nevertheless, Harry struggles to accept that reality. Determined to expose Simon, Harry uses the enormous resources of his agency for personal reasons. His team secretly follows Simon everywhere, recording conversations and gathering embarrassing details. Soon they discover that Simon repeats the same fake stories to several women. He owns no weapons, works no secret missions, and possesses none of the skills he constantly boasts about. Everything about him is based on lies and manipulation. Harry finally decides to teach Simon a lesson. Using his authority, he arranges for Simon to be kidnapped by agents disguised as government officers. Terrified, Simon believes he has been captured by dangerous spies. During the interrogation, Harry remains hidden, while Simon quickly reveals his cowardly nature. The man who claimed to be fearless immediately starts begging for mercy and admits that all his stories are fake. He even offers to help the kidnappers by providing information about the woman he has deceived. Watching this humiliating confession, Harry realizes how pathetic Simon truly is. Although Simon has been exposed, Harry still feels troubled about Helen. Instead of discussing their marriage honestly, he makes another questionable decision. Believing that Helen secretly desires adventure, he creates a fake mission and tricks her into participating. Agency officers approach Helen and pretend that they are recruiting her for a dangerous assignment. Confused and frightened, Helen has no idea that her own husband is secretly controlling everything behind the scenes. Helen is instructed to meet mysterious people and follow strange orders. At first, she believes she may be.
As the battle above Florida reaches its climax, Harry Tasker finally succeeds in rescuing his daughter Dana. After making the terrifying jump, Dana lands safely and is reunited with her father. For a brief moment, relief washes over both of them. After everything they have endured, father and daughter are finally together again. But the mission is not over. Far ahead, Salim Abu Aziz is escaping aboard a helicopter, and Harry knows that allowing the terrorist leader to survive could place countless innocent lives in danger. Despite the emotional reunion, Harry remains focused. Years of experience have taught him that dangerous enemies must never be underestimated. Aziz has already demonstrated his willingness to use nuclear weapons and spread fear across the world. Even though his organization is collapsing, the terrorist leader himself remains a threat. Harry understands that this final confrontation will determine whether the nightmare truly ends. Inside the helicopter, Salim Abu Aziz believes he has survived. Watching the chaos below, he assumes Harry is too occupied with saving Dana to continue the pursuit. His arrogance blinds him to reality. Throughout the entire conflict, Aziz has repeatedly underestimated the determination of the man opposing him. He saw Harry merely as an obstacle, never realizing that a father fighting for his family possesses extraordinary strength. Meanwhile, Donna clings tightly to her father. Only hours earlier she had been trapped, terrified, and convinced that she might never see her family again. Now, as she looks at Harry, she sees him in a completely different light. The distant and boring father she once complained about has risked everything to save her. For the first time, she truly understands the sacrifices he has made throughout his life. Their relationship, once strained by misunderstandings and arguments, has been transformed forever. Below them, Helen watches the dramatic events unfold with tears in her eyes. The past few days have completely changed her life. She has discovered that her husband is a secret agent, survived kidnappings, and faced dangers beyond anything she ever imagined. Yet amid all the chaos, she has rediscovered something even more important, the love and trust that had slowly disappeared from her marriage. The lies that once separated Harry and Helen have finally been replaced by honesty and understanding. High above the city, Harry turns his attention toward the fleeing helicopter. The Harrier jet responds instantly as he begins the final pursuit. Salim Abu Aziz notices the aircraft approaching and realizes with horror that Harry is still coming after him. Panic begins replacing confidence. For the first time since the crisis began, the terrorist leader understands that defeat is inevitable. Aziz desperately orders the pilot to increase speed, but there is nowhere left to run. Harry calmly locks the Harrier's missile system onto the helicopter. Years of training and countless missions have prepared him for moments like this, yet unlike previous operations, this battle is personal. Aziz endangered his family, threatened millions of innocent lives, and spread fear across the nation. Harry knows that the world will never be safe while the terrorist leader remains alive. In one of the most unforgettable moments of the film, Harry fires the missile. Within seconds, it strikes the helicopter with devastating force. A massive explosion fills the sky as Salim Abu Aziz and his plans are destroyed forever. After all the suffering and destruction he caused, the terrorist leader meets his end. With his death, the threat posed by Crimson Jihad finally comes to an end. Soon afterward, military forces secure the area and capture the surviving terrorists. Emergency crews arrive, and the nation slowly begins recovering from the crisis. For government officials and intelligence agencies, Harry Tasker is once again a hero. But for Harry himself, the greatest victory is not the defeat of the terrorists, it is the fact that his family has survived. As the days pass, Harry, Helen, and Dinah begin rebuilding their lives. The emotional wounds left by years of secrets cannot disappear overnight, but for the first time in a long time they face the future together. Harry no longer hides behind lies, and Helen no longer feels trapped in an ordinary existence. Both have gained a deeper understanding of each other, and their relationship grows stronger than ever. 1 year later, life has changed dramatically. Helen has embraced a more adventurous role and now works alongside Harry as part of Omega Sector. No longer separated by secrets, husband and wife have become true partners. Their chemistry and love have returned, stronger than before. Even Dana has matured, and the Tasker family enjoys a closeness they had almost lost forever. During a new mission, Harry and Helen are assigned to investigate suspicious activity. Dressed elegantly and working together with complete confidence, they demonstrate how much they have evolved. The couple who once struggled with boredom, loneliness, and deception now face challenges side by side. As they walk toward their next adventure, it becomes clear that their story is far from over. Thus, True Lies, 1994, directed by James Cameron and starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Tom Arnold, comes to a satisfying conclusion. Beneath its spectacular action sequences and thrilling set pieces lies a story about trust, family, and second chances. The film reminds us that no matter how exciting or dangerous life becomes, the people we love are ultimately the greatest treasure we have.